Yo, 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 yo. It is another episode of the number one podcast in the game, The Weekend Rhyme. I'm your boy Ron, RKY. That is Leroy Green. Our man Super Duper is running a little late, but he'll be here momentarily to bring his perspective to the game. We got a jam-packed show. But before we get into that, I need you to do the needful. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you chose to rock with us. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe
Appreciate it.
button, buy us a cup of coffee. The link's there. Send us a super shout out, a super chat, whatever you want to do. But be sure to tell a friend to subscribe to us. I see people tapping into the videos. Our numbers are going up slowly but surely, but we really need your support so we can get some bigger interviews and we can get popping and go out and hit the
No
road.
doubt.
Hit that like button. So if you're watching the show, if you like what you're hearing, if you want to see a podcast that's going to go a little deeper into the weeds and have more conversations about different things, Leroy gonna take us somewhere different, as
No
he
doubt.
always does, and which we always appreciate. I'm gonna take you somewhere different. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the quarterback of this thing, and Super Duper gonna keep it real. So if you like that presentation, if you like the three of us, we're gonna bring in some other people later on. We got a surprise co-host. But hit like and subscribe, buy us a cup of coffee. We really appreciate it. But before we get into the proceedings this evening, let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. People are back. People are back outside. People are back having conversations. The people we called mystery men in hip hop are not being as mysterious this week. They're coming out. Jay-Z is back with a conversation with GQ magazine. Shout out to GQ, shout out to Jay-Z. And J.Cole is going on an interview run. He has just done an Apple Music interview in his home in Fayetteville, North Carolina. He just wrapped up an interview with Cameron, talk with Flea. And now tomorrow he's going to be on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony. And he may have more. He may pop up on this one. If you hit the like and subscribe button, he may just pop up on this joint. But anyway, before I go and give my assessments of the interviews that have just been thrust upon us, Leroy, what's your take? Did you see the Jay-Z? Let's start with the Jay-Z interview. The Jay-Z GQ
Okay.
interview. What were your
Okay.
thoughts? What did you think? What were your key takeaways, the key moments of the Jay-Z interview?
Well, I'm a fan of Jay-Z, one, which everybody in this space, I'm sure you know I'm a fan of Jay-Z already, right? So I'm happy to see when he comes outside because of course I'm thinking music. Like that's me. Like, okay, he's gearing up to drop some music, right? Which that would be awesome to me. So, but I knew he was gonna speak on other things, right? Immediately he spoke on the issue of the allegations from I think it was early last year or whatever, right? And that's fine. And he said, it made him upset that people would put allegations on him. And I understand that. I'm gonna go through each point. Don't think I'm gonna stay here, but I'm just going down a list. I understand being upset if people put allegations on you. I think personally that anytime certain allegations are put on you, I think we should just openly go out in court and go put it on camera. Let's bring out everybody. Bring out the person making the claim, the young lady that said she was assaulted or whatever the case may be. Bring them all out. Let's all turn on these cameras. Let's all have the case right here, face to face in front of everybody. I don't know why we can't just do that. You know what I mean? So I'm glad he's willing to just address the situation like, nah, I'm from a different era. We don't get down like that, man. You know what I mean? As far as like certain things are just beyond the pale, you know what I'm saying? So he started there. Then he's talked about his career bringing, at the beginning he was rejected by record labels after Reasonable Doubt, right? So that's an important jewel, right? Rather than to give up, like, oh, they don't want to support me, I'll just give up, right? So he supported his own. He started his own company, came in with two black guys. I want everybody to remember this foundational thing. There was Biggs on one guy, that's a black guy. There was Dame on the other side. That's a black guy. He did not come in. Do you see what I'm saying? Under a plant type situation. I just want to make that clear. His partnership was with Russell Simmons. So, however you look at it, and then he had also promo with Diddy, Bad Boy, Rough Riders.
Hollywood
Irv got
Henry. Priority was the first one, right? Priority, Polygram or
Yes,
something?
yes, priority was there, and that involved him distributing records, selling records. Of course, when you're selling records, you're gonna get a phone call, but he already had that locked in place because we got to remember the movie soundtrack thing too. So if people want to go that angle, that's legit. That's legit. That did happen. You know what I mean? But that comes with like having a dope record. Honestly, like if you have a dope record and people want to get behind it and sell it, that's the thing. But Rockefeller, I'm just speaking on Rockefeller, that was him, Biggs, and Dang. You know, three black guys. It was, you know, so and that was interesting. He spoke of the greatest good. So that's the summum bonum. Everybody look up what the summum bonum is. To me, that's the foundation of everything to me. I think at the end of life, period, what was the greatest good? I think should probably be the question. He spoke about a written testimony that was dope. A lot of times people bring up his what they think his religiosity is or whatever spirituality is. I think people should go back to a written testimony, go through the lyrics, and like, you know, whatever comes out of a person's mouth is it's attached to their heart a lot of times, you know what I mean? So he spoke on the label of capitalist. So this is why I kind of hung on the point of Dame and Biggs, because I just wanted to make the point that while you can make a capitalist argument, and that's all fair, and I'm not saying people can't do that. I'm just saying at the foundation was three black men. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make that clear. He wanted to be compensated for his art. As a co-founder and flagship of an artist, you want to be compensated for your art and you want every penny. That to me, a lot of this is just like common sense. I don't want to sound like I'm condescending or undermining anybody, but I think we all know that ownership of your intellectual property is kind of that makes sense. Do you see what I'm saying? Like when people be like, how did he get all this money? Well, if you go to the trail and follow his career, you could kind of see where the money came from. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, you know what I mean? He said take out the word allowed, so that because the kid was saying something about we're not allowed or something. He said take out the word allowed. I thought that was good. The kid asked who was they. He said the people, you know, at the status quo level. You know what I mean? People who are establishing the status quo. That's who he means by they. He talked about 444, you know, the healing aspect of 444. We all know that was a very personal album. If you're making a personal album about your significant other, which I encourage, you know what I mean? I encourage that because you spend the most time with your significant other, right? So if you're gonna be making creative records, dope records, I would think that you have a lot, you know, you're not gonna get yourself in trouble there. You know, I'm not saying do that, but I'm saying you have a lot to talk about in that regard. You feel what I'm saying? And I just wish more rappers would go there. Um, he talked about having stuff in the chamber, you know, as far as content wise, which I'm looking forward to. He talked about the Super Bowl and just as far as the picking Kendrick for the Super Bowl. And a lot of times I agree. Like he said, it's just like common sense that Kendrick was hot. So I'm not like it's not like a leap or a jump or a reach to make this decision. Kendrick was hot, so I picked Kendrick Lamar. Do you see what I'm saying? And I understand that. That makes the perfect sense. Like, he talked about battle culture. Now these are the last 2 points I'm gonna make. The battle culture and the elements of hip hop. What he said about battle culture, I also said like a year ago. So I'm not gonna reiterate that, but I said the same thing. Now people can agree or not agree. I have friends in battle rap. I have friends that are at the highest level of battle rap in as far as the league. They're not going to agree with me, but I'm just not a fan of getting nasty. That's me. I don't want to get nasty with somebody. I just want to battle you and we leave it there. You know, I'm not looking for personal dirt on you or going at your family. And I'm just not into that, you know? But when he spoke on the elements, and this is the point that I also agree with, I got to be honest. When's the last time you went outside and saw a DJ just practicing his DJ routine? Or when's the last time you saw a B-boy or B-girl? You know, they're practicing their moves. You know, I do not see these things. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Now I see them if I search for them, like go
So
online.
is hip hop dead? Are you saying hip hop is dead? Is just is
N-
is it dead?
Well, you know, I'm not. I'm not gonna go that far, but
I
I
mean,
would
'cause you say you just don't I mean, you say you
yeah,
don't see these things. I
yeah,
mean, it might be is it a dying art form? If you don't see the B-boy out there, you know what I'm saying, in his
mhm,
B-boy stance, you don't see the DJ in the park scratching the records, you don't know as they say, you don't know the name of the DJs.
right,
Graffiti is not as pop prevalent now, it's just gang graffiti now, it's not more tags or
yeah,
signage.
mhm.
And then he says the battling should end. I mean, is it dead? But I'll let you cook up. I'll
No,
wait.
no, I mean, this is for the people to decide, you know what I mean? If I could tell you that, yeah, I think these elements have died, and I know that's hard to hear, and it's offensive to the to people, but do you think that I want the arts to die? Like, I want the arts to die? Like, never. Like, it's not me that is happy to say that. Do you see what I'm saying? But if I'm not seeing it though, you feel what I'm saying? Like, how could you be mad at me if I don't see the arts being done? Like, again, if I search it up online, well then yeah, I'm gonna see it because I'm searching. But what I mean is like actively in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, we would see somebody in their garage practicing their their turntablism. That's not a far reach. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we see dude right there. Like we knew a few DJs in the neighborhood. They all had their little mixed routines. They had their mixed tapes. They had their name. They went to the clubs doing their thing. The rappers had their DJ. Oh, my DJ is such and such. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just a regular thing. Like, so if I'm not seeing it now, and even to go as far as like, I was on the tail end of the B-boy, B-girl era. Like I'm still seeing people breakdance as a young kid. They're still breakdancing. Cause I was born in 80. You know what I mean? So you gotta keep in mind, I'm from so the people are breakdancing legitimately. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like if I don't see that today, I'm not gonna lie about it. You know, you know what I mean? Which I got to keep it a buck. You feel me? Now I do see like the other races have picked it up, and I'm not gonna lie about that. Specifically, when I'm talking about breakdancing, I see a lot of the other races have picked it up. You know what I mean? Which I'm not gonna stop them from doing that or be put up an argument for that. Because I just like to see it happen. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, I just like to see it happen. I don't care who's doing it per se. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta agree there, man, and that's alarming to me. Also, in the battle aspect, right? A lot of MCs have never been in a battle. They've never battled. They don't see the significance of why they should battle. Do you feel what I'm saying? But then they'll be like, I'm an MC. Now, to a lot of people, that's normal. But to me, somebody who's been around this hip hop thing for decades, if you're an MC and you're saying, "Oh, I don't battle," or I'm not into that battle stuff," you see it, that just rings off as just weird to me. Do you feel what I'm saying? I don't understand that mentality, even though I understand the mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand what they're saying is, bro, I'm about my money. I'm here for business and da 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 da. And hey, do that. But I'm just saying, as far as an MC that doesn't battle or engage in battle, that is like I don't know. That's weird to me. That's weird. I'm from the lunchroom era. Oh, this kid wants to battle. All right, let's go. You battle, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there was no fear in that. You know what I mean? Win, lose, or draw. It was just like regular. Like, oh, let's battle. Like start kicking your rhyme. Oh, bro, like look at your hat, man. It doesn't match my paper plane. Everything you rap, man, is paper plane. Like it would just kick off right there. You feel me? And that energy is not I don't see that energy, man. I'm not gonna lie.
No
That
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So let me
is
say this, it's always good seeing one of our hip hop greats, people can refer to him as the GOAT, one of those ones come out and do an interview. So I thought it was good seeing Jay-Z, who rarely does interviews, come out and do an interview. So when I first saw the interview, I had a different feeling toward it. My initial reaction was I didn't like it. I thought it was um, a controlled interview. I thought it was, you know, akin to like a late night talk show interview, a very safe interview, very safe spot. But then I sat with the interview for a couple of days and I thought, sometimes artists reach a certain stature where they deserve interviews where it's just kind of celebratory in nature, allowing the artist a space to kinda communicate a message in a controlled way. So, there's a lot of artists have done that, as artists, sometimes will find, an interviewer that's really, friendly to them or they can control the questions. And I thought the way GQ put the interview together was really dope. It was very artistic, very avant garde, really fashion forward. So that I appreciated. So my attitude toward the interview changed over maybe the first 24 to 48 hours because I said, you know what? If anybody deserves that luxury or that grace after being in the game for 30 plus years, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? And my initial thought wasn't to be I wanted the interview to be antagonistic or disrespectful. I thought maybe there was some other questions that could be asked directly, right? So I think the interview did a really good job asking some questions, right? But I would have wanted to know, have you ever considered maybe doing a Super Bowl? There was a Super Bowl segment of the interview where he talked about, and Jay was like, "Yeah, I got people criticizing me for picking a Super Bowl." You know what I'm saying? The Super Bowl participant, but Bad Bunny's the most streamed person in the world. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm not really in between the Jay-Z, the Drake and Kendrick Lamar situation. I'm Jay-Z, but I would have wanted to know a follow-up. Have you considered doing a Super Bowl? Like, I mean, what would that look like? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know more about when your thought process of coming back, and then maybe this is before he announced. I mean, he probably had this was in the works for a long time. I don't think they made a decision the day they announced it, something, right? How do you when you perform with the Roots? Because this wasn't the first. It's not the first time he does a Pick the Roots picnic in Philly that he's performed with the Roots as his backing band and working with them in some musical capacity. How is that working with them? You know what I'm saying? Just more deeper questions. And my initial thoughts seeing this interview, I forget the young man's name. I was like, maybe a Sway or maybe a big boy or maybe, a Charlemagne would be asking questions at a different layer. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
again, nothing disrespectful, but it's what's your relationship with Amir and Questlove and you know what I'm saying, and Black Thought, you know what I'm saying? How are you approaching you coming back out? You know what I'm saying? What does that look
Yeah, I
like?
mean, yeah, it,
So
it was
a
yeah,
surface level interview, we got, Jay said some things I thought was dope, like the allowed part was dope. I thought that was cool because I've always had that mentality about people. We're not
that's true. That's true.
subjugated beings. We have freedom and free will, and we're equal in our own rights. I thought that was dope. I like how you address the situation because maybe they watch our pod because it seems like they say things that I've said, but maybe
Probably.
we got the same code. No women, no children. I've said that multiple times on the pod. You know what I'm saying? That's Jay-Z said he was cut from that cloth. So I appreciated the interview. I just thought maybe a more seasoned interviewer would have given us a little bit more depth, but again, I do appreciate him interviewing with a younger person because that bridges the gap between where he is in his career and allowing somebody an opportunity to interview a legend. So I appreciate both sides. So my thought process changed from my initial thought of seeing it, and I read the actual GQ article, and I got more of an understanding of the interview. So all in all, I thought the interview was dope. Uh,
I
maybe
mean, let me push back a little bit though.
oh yeah, push back, push back.
Let me push back a little bit. Everybody who I've seen him, that has interviewed him, they're like a fan. Like, I haven't seen nobody interview him that doesn't like him. And I'm not saying that's what you were saying, but what
Right,
I'm
right, right.
saying is everybody who I seen interview him, they clearly are a fan of him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if there is somebody that he is gonna interview Jay-Z and not also be like a big fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't, you
Right,
know?
and I know it was I know it was a very not I wanna say controlled interview, but I
Yeah.
would have liked to understand because he did have a relationship with Puff. How does he feel with Puff going through the situation? Because 'Cause they've had a relationship for many, many years, you know what I'm saying? Seeing that
I mean,
happen, I'm saying I would like to get that insight, but I know it's a touchy situation, and there's no way he can answer that question without getting scrutiny from one side. Well, that was
exactly.
so it's a lose-lose question.
I
Um
mean, I don't like I think a lot of people put a lot of stuff on top of everything, like conspiracy theory, then layer after conspiracy theory. I think some people are just like regular, just normal people. You know what I mean? I think
Right, right,
if you
right.
if you were to ask me that question, I would be like, yeah, like I'm cool with Puff. Like Puff's like my dude, but I can't do nothing once it gets to a court level. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing I could do. It's nothing I could say. It's nothing that I could change, affect the situation. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right, and the only thing I do disagree with, I do agree with him in a certain sense, 'cause again, I said this on multiple shows we've done together, that I do think that beef got out of hand with Drake. It got personal with Drake and Kendrick, but again, I don't think battling should be out because when we look at the J. Cole, which we'll talk about J. Cole in a little bit, those records or those barbs that Kendrick was throwing at, initially
Mm,
from like that wasn't really. And he said that on his Cameron interview. It wasn't really personal. It was just it was competitive bars. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? With Drake got personal with the wife. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick got personal with the kids. You know what I'm saying? I think that was maybe out of bounds, but I don't know why we can't have healthy competitive
I don't
hip.
think we can. I don't think we can.
We got to
That's a
retrain the brain. We can't let the algorithm and social media and those
right.
devices take us from what the essence of hip hop. We just now we gonna let Meta and Google kill it? We gotta fight back, bro.
Now, people are saying he's hypocritical because of his own crossing the line in battles, right? And that's fine. My counter to that would be he's a little bit older now, so usually a person that gets a little bit older, they kind of mentality is a little bit different. Also, he's saying the social media aspect was different. Now it's a heightened level of that versus him, and that back in that way, we had to wait till the radio comes on or TV comes on to hear about it. Now you can hear about it 24 hours a day just scrolling through social media. But it's like, as far as the battle techniques itself, I don't think we know how to battle without it being personal because I'm looking for those types of battles. And it's like, I could barely find that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, in regular mainstream hip hop, we don't have that. Like who? The closest thing we come to that is Joey Badass versus Ray Vaughn. Right? So that's cool. Like we could go there and we could name that one, right? But it's not too many others that we could name that didn't have a personal element. So if you're battling and it's personal, I'm not gonna stop you because whatever's personal, it already happened. That's why it's personal, right? However, I don't find the battles that aren't personal. Do you know, like where is that? I don't see that. So, and Joey Badass also tried to say something about, well, if we're hopping on tracks together, we'll battle it out on tracks together. That's a great idea too, but are artists gonna sign up for that? You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. Like if you have somebody who doesn't like such and such, okay, let's do a track together. And it's not personal, right? It's strictly just pen game, and we say, okay, let's sign up and do the same track. It's no guarantee that they're going to do a track together to do that. Like who? That I don't see that either. It would be different if I saw the examples of what people are saying. Then I have something to go off. But if I'm not even seeing what people are talking about, you know what I mean? I don't. It may not be possible, and I wish it was. Like I wish those type of battles were possible because I would tune in. Like trust me, like I'm a battle fan, but I gotta see it first though. Yeah, I gotta see some rappers that are willing to do it, you
Yeah,
know?
I do think social media takes the art of battling to another level because people it's a very instant reactions, instant analysis, instant just thought even with this episode, we were like, "Oh, it's too late because we too late. We just wired. We couldn't even sit on the
Right.
interview for a few days because we gotta hurry up and come out." You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I
Right.
don't know. I think this Kendrick and Drake thing, they just didn't like each other and it got like that. But I just don't understand why J. Cole, felt the way he felt because I don't think that was a personal battle. I thought if you listen to 7 Minute Drill, he just said he thought his records was whack. He thought he was cold out here in these streets. Nothing really, it was just bars, you know what I'm saying? It was nothing, it wasn't. I mean, if I do a podcast and my take is whack, it's not personal. If you feel my take is whack, my take is
Your
whack.
albums are whack?
Yeah,
That's kind of
somebody can feel our whole pod is whack, and I can't. If you feel like that and
mean,
Okay,
okay,
they got
but
they feel that way.
but again, to me, the reason why I would say battles that aren't personal is because those diss songs are difficult to write, and I want to see if you have the skill to write that. But if you're like just throwing a bunch of personal jabs, that's not that hard to write. I appreciate them. I appreciate the personal jabs. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that the level of difficulty was not that yeah, that was not that hard. But I do think if you're dissing Kendrick's whole discography or albums, that's kind of crazy. And I think that's what he felt bad about. But here's my opinion on that. If somebody tells me they feel bad, I'm just gonna believe them. Like, I'm not gonna have a pushback to how you feel. Do you know what I mean? And there's been a lot of pushback to Cole, like, oh, like, he's lying, or oh, like, he's this, that, and the third. It's like, bro, like, if he said he feels bad, that's him. Like, who am I to say something about how you feel? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's you. Like, we
Well,
do know he was friends with Kendrick. We know this to be a fact.
since you teed this up,
Yeah.
I've had a Super on this show has said that J. Cole was high on the mountaintop. He was in the Himalayan mountains. He was on a safari in Africa. He was on a retreat. He was hiding. He was mystery man, as LL Cool J called
Mm,
Jay once, allegedly. But J. Cole's been on an interview run last week. He did Apple Music. Forgot the young lady's name he sat down with, but he sat
that's
down with her, in Fayetteville, North Carolina, in his childhood home. Then it was announced that he was sitting down with Cameron on Talk with Flea. Then tomorrow he will be on, Carmelo Anthony's podcast, 7 PM in Brooklyn. So he's making his run. So let me start off by saying this. I thought the Apple Music interview was a waste of my time. And I think and I'll explain why. I think it
with
was
Nadeska.
what it was a waste of what's her name?
Nadeska.
I think it was a waste of Nadeska's time, and I think it was a waste of J. Cole's time. And maybe it wasn't a waste of J. Cole's time because if he wanted to come across how you wanted to come across in his childhood home, I thought it was just more like and with all due respect, I want to say this. It was like one of those Make-A-Wish Foundation interviews where you got somebody come out and just asking
Right.
you're a
Okay.
fan and you just had your dying wishes to meet your artist and speak with them. I thought she approached the interview like that. It was no follow-up questions. It was nothing about, I didn't learn anything about J. Cole at all. I don't think the audience did at all. And he set her up for multiple times to say, "Oh, there's a lot more to it." Speaking about the Kendrick and Drake situation, talking about the process of the fall off, talking about how he owns a lot more to I've heard him say at least 3 or 4 times, it was a lot more to that, but there was no follow-up. It was just, "Oh, I like this record, and I finally got how you painted." It was just like like two
I
like
understand,
like a chick that likes a dude sitting here just talking to him.
but
I
I don't know
get it,
what he was supposed to
but
say. What am I
but
supposed to
it just
say?
wasn't an interview that I took anything away from. It wasn't an interview I don't think the audience took, and maybe I'm wrong. Let us know in the comments if you took something away
There's
from
no
it.
wrong or right. You know what I mean? No,
But that's just my assessment of it. I think when an artist, a subject sets you up to say there's more to it, I think you owe the audience and you owe yourself and you owe the subject to go, okay, what do you mean by that? And I didn't get any of that. So it was a waste of my
I
time.
mean,
So let's start with that interview. What do you think about the interview with Apple Music before we get to
okay.
that?
So I mean, in that particular interview, here's what's been ringing off in the back of my mind. I'm gonna be completely honest with everybody, right? We're talking about an incident that happened on April 7th, 2024. It is now March 26th of 2026, and we're still talking about that incident. So in Cole's mind, I think he's like, bro, like, I already told y'all about that. Like, I already told y'all. Like, so I mean and I don't think he's lying, right? Like, because I don't know what the lie would benefit. So with that particular interview, I appreciated it only because I'm not seeing no J. Cole interviews. So if I'm seeing one, do you feel what I'm saying? Like the same thing with Jay's interview. If I'm seeing an interview and I be never seeing an interview from you, then I'm gonna lightweight enjoy it just because you came outside. You feel what I'm saying? But in the this particular situation, to me, and no disrespect to nobody, this is an old situation. You know what I mean? And it's like he's trying to explain the emotions behind that, which I feel is constructive. And here's why: when we have artists and we have these songs, there is emotion behind these songs. So if someone's going to come out and explain the emotion behind it, I'm going to be receiving of that explanation. You feel it? Because I don't feel that artists owe me anything, or like an artist owes me to tell me about their life. The artist owes me to tell me about their situations. A lot of fans, that just the energy, whether I'm right or wrong about this perception, the energy behind it, it almost feels entitled. Like the fans feel like the artist owes them an explanation for what they do. You know what I mean? And in some regard, if you're spending your money, then I understand, you spent your money on this person's project. But I don't feel in every situation that the artists owe us an explanation. As far as like anything personal, like we know that it's a personal thing between him, Kendrick. If it's personal, then I
I
you
I
know,
I get you. Let me push back slightly on this,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I think the reason why people wanted were I think it was more so disappointment. Because on that feature run that J. Cole had, he was talking, he had his chest out, his head was held high. He was
right,
talking that talk like he was one of those ones, and people were
right,
hyped up about it, right?
okay,
So now you're gonna get into a competitive space where one of the guys is revered as one of the top in the game, Kendrick Lamar, and then you like, "Oh, all that feature run, all that talk." And it wasn't even nothing personal because at the time when Like That came out, when First Person Shooter came out, even 7 Minute Drill, there was nothing particularly personal where it was like, "Ah, you can't recover from." If I make a battle rap against you and I'm like, "Yo, I don't I slap the hat off you," you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You
yeah,
slap glasses off me.
yeah.
I
I'm
don't take
I'm
that
cool.
personally. That's just
Yeah,
that's competitive spirit. So I
right,
think people were just the fans were disappointed in that. But I do get your point. I do concede that I think if he's already responded to it in Port Antonio, he's already said what he had to say on stage. I'll just leave it alone. I don't I'm it's almost 2 years later. If that's how that man feel, that's how that man feel, and I'm good with it, you know what I'm saying? Because you
yeah,
can't
I'm
win.
good.
You can't win with it. First, it was like, you know, they were saying, "Oh, why he ain't respond, why he," then he does respond and it's not good enough. It's like
Right,
it's a lose-lose situation. So, that's where I'm at with it. But I just wanna go back to my original point. I still think that Apple Music interview was a waste of time. And I think Cole, if you want a better interview, come to the weekend rhyme
right.
and D-Roy, Cooper and I, we can give you a better interview because
I do that.
and no disrespect to homegirl, maybe that's her. I don't watch many of her interviews. I think she went on with Ebro
Nice.
or something.
She been around. She been around.
That
Complex.
that interview was that wasn't it. That wasn't it. That wasn't it.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. It's just like you really don't know how to act. Like as an interviewer, like I know how to act, but don't know how to act. And here's what I mean is I've done a few interviews, but I'm not the expert of interviews. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm asking, I'm asking I'm gonna ask good questions in my mind because they're very hip hop oriented. I'm a very hip hop, like I want to know about the music. But what I mean is how to act is like if I'm a fan of somebody, like when we interviewed Lupe Fiasco, I'm a fan of his, so I started asking about music that hadn't come out yet. You know what I mean? And he was like, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not out yet. You know what I mean? So sometimes as fans, we could kind of go too far, not in a malicious way, but you're fanning out kind of, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like her style and what she does also contrast with this guy doesn't really talk at all. It's like if a person doesn't really ever really talk, it's hard to know what to say if you rare it's like if I interview I don't know, I can't even think of a name, right? If I interview Nas, right? But Nas is kind of a bad name because we already know so much about Nas. But if I interview Nas, right? He doesn't really say anything. So if I'm asking him now in the interview, and I'm gonna give him a lot of room to talk, like, oh, because I don't want to talk too much, because this guy rarely ever comes outside. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna let him go and go and go and go. It's the same thing when Lupe was uh on here, and when Absol was on here. When Lupe was on here, it was about the AI thing, like the AI learning the rap thing. So I just let him go because that was so important that you don't want to hear me saying a whole bunch in that regard. Do you feel what I'm saying? So in this regard too, I think people just let him go. Like when he was on the Cam show, Cam just let him go. Like Cam, and he was like, "No, I know I'm long winded," and he was extremely long winded. But Cam was just like, "Go," you know what I mean? Just go. I'm not, I'm hearing what you're saying, and you're answering questions that I already had for you anyway, just by letting you go. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. I think it was cool, and people that have your opinion with the interview, I'm not mad at that opinion. I could see that. You know what I mean? People that feel the same way about Jay's interview, as if it was only 30 minutes. You didn't learn. It's not like he dropped a jewel about new music or something like that. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you feel a way about that, I get it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but this is just the nature of the game. And as far as like what I see, almost 99.9% of the time, the person's gonna kind of fan out. They're gonna kind of fan out a little bit because they're in front of someone who they admire. You know what I mean? Honestly. And so it's kind of hard not to kind of fan out a little bit. But I do see your point though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, and segue into the other interview with, with Cameron Talk with Flea. I enjoy the interview. I think that, it's always interesting to see people as of the culture and of hip hop interview their contemporaries or their peers or people that's in a different generation than them. I think they have a different type of level of conversation because one, they've been in the arena, respectively. They've been artists, so they understand the ins and outs. They've been interviewed before. So I think it's always interesting to see somebody like Gilly or Joe Budden or even a
Yeah,
Cameron
for
interview
sure.
other artists. I think it's kinda dope, or Memphis Bleek or Nori, you know what I mean? It's always or even Juvenile and Manny Fresh, shout out to them, do that. So I thought this interview was good, and I think it was open and honest about the lawsuit because there's a lot of chatter about lawsuits, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Drake's got a lawsuit out,
Yeah,
but
I
but
didn't like that, man. I
Drake's
didn't.
got a lawsuit out, but I mean, again, I don't know if Drake you know, Drake's not an attorney. I don't know why his attorneys did that, what they did, and again, I wanna say this because I know Super my
Yeah.
man picking Drake's back in. The
Okay.
lawsuit isn't against Kendrick Lamar. The lawsuit is against UMG and the executives of the record label. It's not a Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar. This lawsuit with Cameron was a lawsuit against Cameron versus J.Cole, so a little different, but I don't hear a lot of commentary about that, you know what I'm saying? But they were able to talk like men and kinda work it out. He kinda explained his situation. I thought that was cool. Um
My only issue with that is, Cam, your lawsuit wasn't serious. You was just doing anything. At least Drake's was he's serious about that one. Yours,
But
Cam,
his
you're not.
lawsuit is not now you would I would agree with you 100%, but if Drake sued Kendrick Lamar for the record, he's not doing that.
No, yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I
He's
get it.
suing UMG.
Yeah, no, I get it. And to be honest, again, I said this too, and I'm gonna stand on this hill, even though it's a terrible hill to stand on. I'm not really mad at Drake there, you know what I mean? Just to be honest, because I understand the psychology of it. If you his relationship with UMG and the psychology behind why he would sue them, I could kind of put them pieces together, and then I understand the psychology. So as I can't really be mad there. Is it cool? Is it right? Is it traditional? That's beside the
I
point.
just find it
The
funny
civil
that
logic
nobody I just find it funny that nobody said nothing about Cam suing J. Cole. Everybody's kicking Drake
is
back.
whack. That's whack.
Everybody's saying he should be exit out of hip hop but we suing somebody because of a feature in an interview, but nobody said nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? I just
But
find
he's
it odd.
yeah.
I just find it odd. I just find it odd.
Right, right, right. No, yeah, yeah, right, right, right. Because it's Cam. We're not the people that we like. We're gonna let go, and the people who we don't like, we're gonna get them. That we know what we're doing. Yeah.
Find it odd. I just find it odd. I find it odd. But anyway, the interview was dope. I thought I liked the young lady that came. She flew in. You know, she was a big J. Cole fan. Flew in and spoke with him,
Right.
asked some questions. Uh, Finding out that Jay Z, the business of the record industry, he went from an artist deal to a distribution deal, and he got his masters back, which I thought was cool. Oh, I want to go back to the Jay Z interview.
Well, can you hear that? Someone's like cutting grass out here. Can you hear
No,
that?
I can't hear it. The
Okay.
Jay-Z interview, when the conversation came to Cole, I thought that was pretty interesting. They didn't really elaborate on it too much. I could tell there's some tension, and he's like, artists. And I think Jay, I don't know if you peeped it, Leroy. He kind of
What?
he kind of sneaked this J. Cole a little bit. He said,
Okay.
he said
Yeah.
J. Cole found his way. It took him a long time to do it, but he found his way, and he kind of smiled.
That's true though.
It's true,
That
but
is that's
it's kind
true.
of a sneak this. And then when he
That's
talked about
true,
the
y'all.
Cole, he talked about the Cole and DJ Clue mixtape. He was like, Cole, DJ Clue sent it to me. Cole didn't, and he laughed. It seemed like there's some animosity. You know what I'm saying? It's some
But
dreadlock.
bro,
It's some dreadlock beef. You know what I mean?
nah, if everybody remembers when Cole first started and we were waiting on the first single, if everybody let's go back. We were waiting for a very long time for that first single. That is a fact. Then when we got the first single, we didn't like it. Let's keep it a buck. He had Who Dat. Y'all remember Who Dat? I'm not talking about Lights Please. Lights Please, I'm gonna let that go because that's mixtape. That's mixtape. We know that's mixtape. Who Dat was supposed to be the official one. We didn't like that. Let's keep it a buck. Then he had something else which wasn't a single, but it kind of was a single because it was released on the blogs, and it was the song with him and Drake in the morning. Come
They were
on, we
trying to
were
find. It was He was trying to find his.
yeah, you remember we remember that.
He was trying to find his lane. But Jay,
Okay.
with the way Jay articulated in the interview, it seemed like a little dig. It seemed like
Yeah, I mean, hey, if
it
it's
took a
true
while.
though, if it's true, that's true.
So I'm interested to know because that's another probing question. Like,
Right.
okay, what happened? You know what I'm saying? What's the were y'all ever cool like that? Was it just more of like a boss employee or a mentor mentee relationship or a big dog
Mm,
to a
I
woman?
I
What
I
happened?
I think that Dre, I think Jay is cool with artists, right? But he can't really show you that he's cool with them because he doesn't gain nothing for that except for you saying that he's showing favoritism. That's what you're gonna end up saying. But if we remember, J. Cole was the flagship artist of Rock Nation. That's quite a blessing, my G. You're the flagship artist of Rock Nation, and you came in under a song called "The Star Is Born" with Jay-Z, and you on the feature. That's quite a blessing, my G. Like, come on now, like that kind of and then like in another system, let's say Cole was in another system, and that first record didn't hit like like Who Dat, right? And people, you may have to go back and look for Who Dat, right? But if that didn't hit on another label, they might have dropped you. They might have dropped you. Jay didn't do that. He stuck in there with you. You know what I'm saying? He went through the growing pains with you. Now, I understand what Cole was trying to do. What Cole was trying to do was make a song reminiscent of something with lyrical skill. That's what he was trying to do because I could hear it in Who Dat. It's Who Dat, like Who Dat is what I'm saying. Who Dat. So I hear you trying to push a lyrical agenda because it was there. What Jay was saying is in this particular game, you're going to have to make the radio friendly uh jam. And he was resistant to that. And I understand that mentality too. But ultimately, Jay was right in what he was saying. When you enter a certain kind of system, the mainstream system of the music business, right? You can push a lyrical agenda all day, but there is something to be said about them songs for the girls, which I mean, it come on, like, we know the game, like, we know that dude, make the songs for the girls. However people feel about it, let them feel a way about it because they still gotta go through the rest of the album. You feel
You
what I'm
know
saying? They
you know
gotta go through the rest of the album.
the one thing I'm still not understanding, right, after,
Yeah,
it's been and I hate and I'm we're not gonna talk about this all year long. This is one of we're talking about it now because it's in the algorithm and people the interviews just drop and so that's why we're talking, but I don't we're not gonna spend our whole year talking about this Drake and Kendrick Lamar and J.Cole situation, but I
mhm,
still don't understand I still don't get it, and I don't think no one's asked this question. Hopefully, you'll come on
what's
the
that?
weekend around, we can ask this question. The 7-minute drill, the first person shooter like that, again, it's what made him feel so bad about I don't I just don't get it because he was talking competitively. He was talking the talk like he was the GOAT, and he wanted to be in the big 3. What made him feel bad? What made his wife feel so bad? What was the that's why people saying this thing is getting kinda soft because it was nothing
I
malicious.
mean,
He wasn't attacking his family, he wasn't attacking his children, he wasn't talking about how he looked, he wasn't talking about, anything, his money. He was just they was just rapping. So I wanted to know if I could ask J. Cole, at what point
yeah.
why did you make the record? You know what I'm saying? What made you make the record?
The fans said you have to respond. He said, okay. And here's what I'm saying though,
But
Ron.
you don't have to
Let
do and then you don't have to if somebody the fans say jump off a bridge, you don't have to jump.
No, but when you have millions of people, that's another level. Like when these artists on a mainstream level get a demand from the fans, it'd be like millions of people, bro. It's not like a couple guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like millions, you know? And then also we know that they were friends, so there's the friend element there. But if you're particularly potentially deadly with the pen, like you're a very lyrical skilled person, then you know that about yourself. You know what I mean? And I think that ultimately that is gonna cause a person to kind of relax. Yeah, man. I mean, they're gonna kind of relax if they're going at a friend or someone that they used to deem a former friend. And on top of that, you know that you're lyrically deadly. If you know that about yourself, you might calm down. You just might, bro. Because um, Cole could have really done damage if he wanted to. I think we know that Cole is nice at rapping, right? So I think we know if Cole wanted to do damage, that he could have. You know, like he has that option and ability. You feel me? And I just don't think when he says it wasn't in my spirit to do that, I believe him. Like, what am I gonna say? I could say, "Oh, you bullshitting." But I don't know if you bullshitting or not. Like I don't know what you feel in your spirit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think it was. I think he knows that he's deadly, bro. I'm just gonna now why he didn't respond to Saha. I think he knows Saha is deadly. You know, it's like it's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you see friends fight, if two guys that you know are legitimately friends are fighting, the fight is not that particularly vicious. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you know for a fact that these two guys are really friends. They're just mad at that moment. You know what I'm saying? It's not a vicious fallout, you know?
Man, I apologize, guys. I'm talking to my MacBook microphone.
Yeah,
It won't let me switch to my main mic. So if it sounds different, I apologize. Hit like and subscribe,
you good. You good.
Anyway, hopefully you'll hear me clear anyway through my computer.
Right.
Uh, I apologize. It doesn't sound as crispy as it normally does because I can't switch my mic.
It sound good on my end. I don't know, what
But
you
yeah, I mean, that's what it is, man. It's just, man, I think gentle sparring and just light jabs and battling is okay. Uh,
that's art form though. That's part of being an artist.
maybe in retrospect, he should have just let Drake and Kendrick just go at it and stayed out of it. Maybe that was the best course of action.
Probably. But
Um,
here's another thing I don't understand. At least he tried to battle. You feel what I'm saying? At
What's
least he
good?
was good, super like, if you remember, right, when Kendrick put out the Control verse, at least people tried to battle. Now, people don't even attempt to battle at all, and we be giving them props for not saying nothing. That's crazy to me. At least you tried to battle. Then you was like, "Oh, it's not in my heart to do that." But at least you and this is his second time going at Kendrick. He had a the first time he went at Kendrick was in 2012 when Kendrick did the Control verse. He responded. Like he responded. He fought, he responded. And then Big Crit came out and responded, and Big Crit said it's not in my spirit to go at Kendrick. He said the same thing, and nobody got on Big Crit's head, and Big Crit was huge at the time. Big Crit was somebody. And then Wale went at him. Wale backed out too and said, "Oh, it's not that serious to me." Nobody got on Wale. Wale was huge at that time. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah,
What's really good?
yeah.
Couple days into the interview, I get it. You know, if you're a veteran MC, a veteran artist, you deserve the right to have one of them late night talk show type interviews, one of them daytime TV type interviews, and control the narrative and control you're a veteran. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? I do think there were some things that the young brother that interviewed him could have expounded upon musically, you know what I'm saying? What it's like working with the Roots, you know what I'm saying? You know, you work with them over the years, what it's like doing that. Also maybe asking about the Nicki Minaj, all these people coming at him in the media like Nicki Minaj
What
situation.
could what could he say about Nicki?
Also about Puff, his relationship with Puff. I thought he could have went there. I think how he would approach a new album. I think the interview asked that, you know, from a production standpoint, put some producers. I think again, there was a lot to be desired for the interview, but I appreciated how GQ put it together after reading the interview and coming back. Also, will he ever perform at a Super Bowl? I thought that was has he ever considered it? I thought that was a question that wasn't asked, that could have been asked. So that's my take on it. I appreciate the interview more over the 2 days I saw it. The J. Cole Apple Music interview I thought was one of the worst interviews of this run. It was like a Make a Wish Foundation type interview where you get a sick kid that want to interview their favorite stars. Nadeska, I think that's how her name. She approached the interview all the wrong way. The audience didn't learn nothing. I didn't learn nothing. He set her up saying it was deeper than that, but
I
she
don't
never
think you can learn nothing here.
followed up on none of that. And then I saw the Cameron interview. I thought that was interesting because artists that interview other artists always come at a very respectful place. I still think that J. Cole didn't really answer the question, why did you make 7 Minute Drill in the first place when it was just, and even he said it in the interview, he said it was nothing disrespectful and like that. It was more so competitive. So I just don't understand
He said the fans demand I
where all the crying comes from and all the feelings come from. It was just competitive bars. It was really nothing personal, nothing really like that and malicious. And then back to the Jay-Z point, is hip hop really dead? He said the DJs ain't outside no more. People ain't out, the B-boys ain't out there. People ain't dancing. The graffiti is nothing, ain't
When's
really.
the last time y'all seen a B-boy crew?
And he said battling is dead, but you know, so is hip hop dead? So those are my takes. Leroy, you want to recap your takes and we're gonna let Super just start cooking.
Imma let him go. My main point is I don't think they're lying because I don't know what a lie does for them. Like, I think that whatever they say is honestly how they feel. My comment about the hip hop thing is I gotta agree. This doesn't mean hip hop is dead. It just means I'm not seeing the b-boys outside. I'm not seeing the DJs outside. I'm not seeing the graffiti artists outside. So if I don't see y'all, that's all. That's all. I don't see y'all.
I mean, look here, man. I'm a, I'm gonna be somewhat diplomatic here, right? So I'm gonna give Jay. I think the Jay interview was, it was cool. It's a fluff piece. You know what I mean? I don't get too excited about. seeing Nas or Jay do interviews because it's fluff pieces. You know, for me, every time I really listen to them, you know, Jay know how to say and sound like a billionaire and say and sound like he the smartest nigga in the room, and people get, you know, get impressed with his presence, and nobody want to hold his feet to the fire. So Ron, I feel you. I think that at all this stuff that's been going on with Rock Nation, Nicki Minaj been kicking his back end all on the internet. You got Tory Lane's father out here screaming his name, people connecting them to all type of stuff. And then when you finally get Jay, you sit him down. I mean, nobody asked him about his illegitimate son. Nobody talking to him about his feelings on the Epstein's files, which I understand that. Like, I mean,
He
some things,
addressed.
yeah, right. Some things you can address lightly. Some things you don't want to get too deep in. But I
What's
think
it?
that I think that listen, man, for Jay to be Jay, he get a lot of leniency. I don't think it'll be any other rapper that's got this much other stuff to be talking about that we wouldn't ask these guys these questions or whatever. You know what I mean? And for Jay to sit back and sit up there in that interview and acting like he's an open book and any question was he was good and any question you can ask him, I just think that was bullshit. But
What?
in itself though, I don't like what he's saying about the rap battling. I mean, yeah, hip hop is dead. Jay's just said it. That's exactly what he said. He said hip hop is dead.
The
I mean,
elements.
the elements, yeah, right. I mean, if we want to say that, then hip hop is dead, right? And if we got these guys, like, I don't understand why are we feeling sorry for Drake? Like, I think that they really making this worse on Drake. I think J.Cole, I think J.Cole and Jay-Z
Before
are
you
making
go
it
too
worse
far,
on Drake.
I just want to go back to the Nicki point. What if he said, I made Nicki like $100 million? How come y'all not calling me the bad guy for making her wealthy?
I mean, regardless, I'm just acknowledge that she been kicking your back end
That's
publicly
cool.
for
But
at
I
least
made
about a
you like
good year.
wealthy.
So nobody nobody gonna say, hey, what's going on with Nicki Minaj? Why she feel like what's going on? What's your opinion on Nicki Minaj and the things she doing there?
You know,
Why we not
made her
asking,
wealthy.
like, it's just a simple question. It's just a
Yeah, I
simple
made her
question.
rich.
We can't keep on just letting Jay-Z be the man and hide behind his money. I mean, it's a lot of shit going on.
I think with Jay,
He's the
though,
head, he's the
who
he's the
was,
CEO,
what is
he's
he
the
hiding from?
CEO, the head of Rock Nation. They've been accused of a lot of shit, man.
Accused
Like I
of
said,
what?
this stuff with his son
That's
been
not his
going
son.
around. Whatever. Hey, he ain't
Not
take the
his son.
DNA test.
That's not his son.
Regardless, whatever. It's been going on for about 5 years. Like, 5
If
years.
it is,
Who gonna have the courage? Who gonna have the courage to ask Jay-Z some of these real questions? You know what I'm saying? Like, really?
let's say it's his son. Do we really care? Do we care?
Hey, listen, it's in the news. Why Jay don't never get
'Cause-
to have to confront nothing that's actually in the news about it?
but what is
And
okay?
then we
Any
sit back
question
and
you could
clap.
ask him. What if he
Everybody
just
gets
tells you the
starstruck.
truth?
Everybody gets
Do
starstruck
we
when he come
care?
and sit down and he spit a little game and he do his little Jay-Z thing. He slick talk his way into your hearts once again, and
So,
y'all fall in love again.
oh,
Y'all get starstruck.
don't allow. We gonna remove the word
Okay,
allow.
what if he says, don't I don't grate people?
We ain't even gotta go that far.
Is that
And
answer good
we don't
enough?
even gotta
Like,
go that far.
I don't grate people.
It's listen, even look,
Like,
what
is that good enough?
even them saying, Jay, how do you feel about in the Epstein files, they saying
Yeah,
that they using you to
yeah,
distract black people. What is your reply
yeah.
to that? That they saying that they
Right,
using you as a decoy
right.
to distract black people or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's legit
I would
questions.
say
All I'm saying is,
that's another man talking. You got that from
regardless,
another man.
is there. And
That's
now
another man.
so look, right,
That's another
right.
man. It
So
wasn't me.
instead of asking Jay-Z about his business, right? Instead of asking him and having him ask and answer questions about the shit that he should be talking to and talking about, they decide to ask him about a 2-year-old beef. And then he give this sorry, sappy ass answer like, the fans are just too mean nowadays. The rappers are so sensitive. They can't handle your mean tweets. They can't handle the comment section. They can't handle that. They supposed to not be online. They supposed to be so above the rest of us and pretend like they not listening to the peanut gallery, right? We the peanut gallery.
But where's the lie? Where's
But
the
you letting
lie?
You letting social media and mean tweets
Yes.
decide if you're gonna rap battle
Yeah.
or not, if
Yes.
battling is taken too far.
I
I
definitely.
think it's a slap in the face to hear Jay-Z come out and say that the culture was too mean to Drake, right? Hold on, listen to me.
I'm
The
hearing you.
culture was too mean for Drake, right? Too mean to Drake.
Yeah.
But we got rap beefs where people have went pissed on graves,
All that.
put mamas on t-shirts,
That ain't cool.
smoking on Tuka.
That ain't cool.
It's been a lot going on.
Got shot.
Super.
People getting shot and killed.
Super.
But
Super.
now it's too now we gone too far because
Yes.
Drake's feelings are hurt. So
Super.
now, and this is what I was saying to y'all from the beginning,
If
bro.
you were
I'm
a
finna let you cook.
billion dollar
I'm gonna pause
brand.
right here. I'm gonna pause right here just so you can say this.
Okay.
Right? When we first started talking about this, why didn't they ask these guys the question? If you gonna ask them about the beef, why didn't you ask them, how do you feel about Drake suing over Not Like Us? Where is that question at? I think it's super odd. This is an industry planish move to me. You get J.Cole and Jay-Z coming out telling everybody that we need to feel sorry for Drake, throwing and giving out
I
bail for
don't know if he
Drake.
said that. I don't know if
This
he
is
said that.
odd that two guys in the same week come out giving bail to Drake, right?
I don't know if he
And
said
Jay-Z, my point is that Jay-Z is that whole spiel, that was music executive talk. That wasn't no hip-hop talk. He was speaking from a guy that's in the industry
you're
that
adding a
has
lot.
artists,
You're
and
adding a lot.
he's thinking about the bottom line.
What's
He's
the
not
bottom
thinking about
line?
nothing else. He
What's the
don't
bottom
care
line?
about Jay don't care about
But what's the
Drake's
bottom
feelings being
line?
hurt.
Money? The bottom line is
These
money.
dudes don't care about Drake's feelings being hurt.
But
And
he
the
did
mean
not
things that
say
he
he
said.
did not say he's mad over Drake's feelings. He never said that. He
Listen,
never
man,
said that.
we talking about, like I said from the beginning.
He never
When
said
Drake
that.
filed
You're
that
adding
lawsuit,
that.
when Drake filed that lawsuit over Not Like Us, I said the end result of this is that he gonna take down battle culture and take down some part in a section of hip hop. This was all I seen this coming.
We took it down.
No, we didn't. We are
we
fans.
did.
We are
did do
fans,
that.
man. They need to get offline. We are fans reacting to the songs.
Super.
We are fans reacting to the songs. They
No,
can't be
y'all
sensitive.
are fanatics now. You are not fans.
No, we not.
Fans is fanatic.
Oh, no, we not.
No, yes.
No, we not.
Yes, this
we
incident
not.
happened on April 7th, 2024, and we're mad now. That is fanatical.
I
That's
find it odd that we get Michael
fanatical.
Dyson,
That's
we get J. Cole,
fanatical.
and we get Jay-Z coming out preaching
But
to the
he's not saying
fans.
I'm defending Drake. He did
They
not say
coming
that.
out preaching to the
He did
fans
not say
about
that.
how we did Drake
You
wrong.
did do that.
We did Drake
Listen,
wrong.
but he did not say that. You're adding
No,
that.
that's what they
But
saying. They actually
he did
saying
not.
that.
But Jay
It got
did not say that.
disgusting. It got nasty. It went too
Hey,
far.
Okay, so Jay said
This
that.
don't have no place in the culture because Drake's feelings was hurt. What about Tuka? What about Tuka Mama?
But
What
he
about
did
the people
not say
who
that.
grave sites
You're
that's been
adding that.
pissed on?
You're
It's been people
adding that.
grave sites pissed on.
He did not
Like,
say
it's what
that.
I'm saying. So now Drake got called a pedo, and now another guy that's been accused of being a pedo come out with his cape on to tell us that we went too far
He did not say
with
that.
Drake. I think it's pitiful.
Okay,
And it
but
reeks
you kind of
of
added a lot.
it reeks
added a
of
lot.
industry plant shit. This is industry talk.
Super. If they ask him about the Drake lawsuit and Jay said that's not my lawsuit. I did not do that. That's a fair answer. That's his
Right.
lawsuit.
I would have rather him
That's
said
a fair
that
answer.
instead of trying to chastise the culture and the fans for having opinions
it's true.
about the songs, having
It's
opinions
true,
about
though.
J.
It's
Cole and
true.
his music,
Y'all
having
the fans
opinions
be
about
talking
Drake.
like the fans talk like they're in the music business. Y'all do that every day.
I can't stand how soft this is.
Super, if you were worth $100 million and I tell you, Super, you're about to engage in battle, right? Well, I got 1 million comments that have been coming in here every day for 2 years where they're bashing you. You may want to now, I'm not telling you what to do. All I'm saying is you may want to just ignore this whole issue. Not that it ain't that you're scared. It ain't that you're not real hip hop. It ain't that the issue is when millions of people are talking about you every single
Man,
day,
I don't care.
is it worth it?
We talking
Okay,
about
so
mean
your
tweets. This is what I'm saying. We talking about
is
mean
worth it.
tweets.
Your brand is worth it.
We talking about the
Your
opinions of
brand is worth
fans.
it. Bro, you are worth $100 million, bro. Like that, you are worth not getting involved.
Man, hip hop has lost
Okay?
hip hop is so soft. We
Like
lost
you're
our
worth it,
backbone,
bro.
bro.
$100 million?
Hey, we lost our whole
J. Cole's
backbone,
money
man.
changes
We
Carolina's
got
economy.
rappers talking about how disgusting the fans are and people's comments about a rap battle because people got their own opinions or they decide that they don't like Drake or whatever is going on. Like it's just so soft. Like hip hop gotta get back to being more manly. All of this shit feels
And he
very
rapped and
feminine.
y'all was mad. He
All of this shit
rapped.
feels very feminine. No, he rapped
He
and
rapped.
we
Y'all
didn't.
was mad.
No, we wasn't mad. We thought no, we wasn't mad at all. We said it was whack, and he was mad that we said it was
So he
whack.
rapped. He's
Right,
okay.
he rapped. Nobody disagreeing with you, Leroy. He rapped. We said it was whack.
Y'all
The fans didn't like it. The fans was like, "Get this shit out of here."
Nah,
And he allowed
that's
the
cap.
opinions of the fans to scare him off. He allowed the opinions of the fans to scare him off.
I
And
mean,
so
it's not really scare me
yeah,
off.
that's what he
It's
said.
not really scare me off. Here's the thing about it is if my fan base supports me, but y'all don't, should I cater to my fan base or cater to y'all? That's the
This
decision.
is the softest shit I ever
That's
heard
the
in hip hop.
decision. If I'm worth
sitting up here,
$100 million, I can't let you mess up
we
my
giving
money,
out
bro.
bail.
I can't let you mess up my money.
We giving bail to a guy in Drake who is suing over a rap song.
But
They
Jay
not
didn't do
addressing that. They not
He didn't
talking
do
about
that.
that.
Jay
They
didn't
not
do that.
talking about that. Nobody's asking
Stupid.
those questions. Nobody is even making them adjust or even address that. They just out on a PR campaign to try to clear Drake's name because the industry
Does Drake have the
and
right
this is
to
an
sue
industry
UMG?
move.
Does Drake have the right to sue UMG under fair
Not
grounds?
over not like us.
Under fair grounds.
Not for not like us. No.
Okay, so me personally, if I've made you $1 billion and I find out that you're conspiring to use bots against me after I made you $1 billion, I done sent your kids to college, I done sent you on vacations, I done did all kind of stuff, I may feel away, bro.
Them same bots was used in his advantage.
I may feel away, bro.
And look, like I said, this is so soft for hip hop.
But we don't support battle culture.
We got
do not
J.Cole.
support battle
We got
culture.
J.Cole on the internet talking about
do
his
not support.
wife. His wife cried. Kendrick had them hugging in the corner, crying together, scared that the boogeyman was gonna come get him. J.Cole wife cried. I've been laughing for 2 days about that shit, that his wife cried. Just the mental thought. I can't wait. Hey, Drewski, RG guys.
I know, but what does that have to do with anything?
Hey, make a skit showing J. Cole and his wife crying, scared to death in the closet, hiding under the bed, worrying about what Kendrick Lamar was going to do.
So you know what I mean? I
want to see that skit. I
just don't know why it matters. Like, I don't know why we care about J.
I'm
Cole
disgusted with hip hop, man. I'm disgusted.
I don't know why we
I've been saying this for like
because
the past
if we cared about battle, why don't
weeks.
y'all support the battle rappers? Why do you never support Jay Mills when he's been out here cooking? Y'all don't support Mickey Fax. He's cooking. The whole battle league has been cooking for 10 years, and y'all ignored the entire decade. That's crazy.
Man, these dudes is acting like they said the worst shit ever.
And
these
y'all
guys
mad at Drake?
This is honestly, if you really look at it, it's probably the softest beef ever. Like this beef is
what
soft.
What is he supposed to do?
It's soft. And the way that they trying to act like this is the worst thing that ever happened
to
hip hop.
Is he supposed to punch Kendrick
This is
Lamar?
the nastiest. So now the Drake and Kendrick beef is the nastiest beef in hip hop history. Nobody died, nobody got punched, nothing happened.
I've never seen people upset about an issue from 2 years ago. I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
I'm upset at the way that J. Cole, Jay-Z tried to get out here and chastise the fans over
seen less
tweets,
emotion
over their opinion.
Tupac and Biggie died. I saw less emotion,
especially from Jay-Z.
Than this.
Jay-Z been getting his back kicked in all over the internet.
From who?
Right?
From who?
From everybody. From anybody.
So
anybody that want to talk about him. They done threw the devil on him. They done did all this. So
yeah,
what I'm saying is,
right. The devil.
So what I'm saying is, if anybody can take it, Jay-Z know how it is, and that you gotta have thick skin in this
We don't
business.
know if Jay-Z could take it.
Don't sit here and try to tell me that I shouldn't have an opinion, or if I want to say Drake is trash, to tell me that like I shouldn't be able to say Drake is trash. And
No,
because
you could say what you want. You could
right,
say
so
what
and you shouldn't
what
be
you
worried
want.
about it as an artist. You
You should,
shouldn't let the
yeah.
peanut gallery
If I feed
dictate
my
what you got
family
going
with this
on.
art, I'm worried about it. I feed my family with this, bro. I feed my family. So if I'm going into a hostile environment where everybody's calling me a sucker when they've never defeated Kendrick Lamar in battle ever, all of you people are talking, but you never defeated Kendrick in battle. You never tried to battle Kendrick. You never tried to battle anyone in the battle league. I'm the one that battles out here. I'm the one that sells out the concerts out here. I'm the one that changes the
Again,
economy of
it's
Carolina. I'm the one who puts up
we're
platinum
making
records.
this
I'm the
we
one.
making this we have a lot the internet, we've allowed the internet to make this situation bigger
The
than what it
internet
is.
does
It's just
hurt,
hip
bro.
hop. It's
Anyone
just
saying different is
battling.
lying.
There was nothing disrespectful in none of the and when and like that. He even said it himself on the
It ain't
interview
about
with
the
Cameron.
song, because at
Let me
least we
finish.
have a song. At
Let me
least we
let
have
me
a
finish
song.
my point. Let me finish my point again because I don't think Super wasn't here when I said this. J. Cole said this in the Cameron interview. The Like That record, if you listen to it, it was just competitive hip hop. It was nothing
No one's
disrespectful.
denying that.
We're making it something be so egregious, like it was some type of damn act
Man,
against humanity.
If
It's
you
just
battle
right,
not.
today,
right.
if you battle today, it could
What is
ruin
the
your
problem?
entire life.
I'm disgusted with the
Rappers,
way that they even
rappers,
talking about this.
What's all the
rappers.
tears about? What's all
If
the
you
feelings
battle
about?
today,
Right.
Why?
it could
I don't
ruin
get
your
it.
entire life. It could ruin your family.
What?
Battling today could ruin your family. I just want the rappers to know
So
that. You
let
could
me Leroy, let me
ruin your
ask you a question.
entire
Leroy, let me ask
life
you a question. Leroy,
from a
let me ask you
battle.
a question.
Damn stats.
Leroy, let me ask you a question. The bars on first person shooter
No one's
like that.
denying that.
Let me answer my
No
question
one
real quick.
denied that.
You're a rapper. You're a rapper. I'm gonna ask you these questions. Does the lyrics on first person shooter like that and 7 minute drill can ruin somebody's family? Those bars on them records.
Yes, you can ruin your family just by battling now. You could ruin your entire life just from a battle.
Dude, listen. I got secondhand embarrassment from even being associated with hip hop fans that's talking like
We
Leroy.
still talk about Jay and
I'm
Nas.
embarrassed to be connected with niggas like this. That's just this. Like I said, we come from NWA. Niggas was talking about suck my D. You do this, you're gay.
Still talk about that today.
Your mama's a Frisco dyke. We come from a whole history of this, and not this is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep.
This is where we just can't take it because the fans are too mean.
We didn't have these before.
Not the words that they being said. Not the fans reacting to the songs. The fans are only reacting to the songs.
We didn't
and
have these
regardless
before.
So what?
This makes it 100
That makes you
times
sensitive.
more magnified.
This has made you extra sensitive and sweet.
100 times.
That's what it is. This has made us soft.
Every single person is
feminized us. And the reason why we thinking like this.
Every person is a rap expert. Just from a phone.
I'm embarrassed, man. I'm embarrassed to be connected to this version of hip hop. Just from a phone.
Back in the day, we'd hear a battle, we'd hear a comment for a week, and the shit would go away. Now, for the rest of your life, you're gonna get posts. You're gonna get people looking up your wife, looking up your children, looking up your address. That was never a thing before.
I ain't gonna lie.
That never happened. Drake,
you right.
A bullet came through Drake's door, hit his security guard in the neck. Drake put his finger in his security guard's neck to stop the blood from gushing out. We've never had that happen before.
Man,
never.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
We've
like
never
I said, listen, man. I want to give a shout out to the internet though, and to the culture, for real, for not falling for this dick riding moment and like just being caught up in the fact that Jay-Z is speaking or J. Cole is outside giving interviews and let's just kiss their ass. I'm proud of y'all. Every last person giving pushback, every last person giving real opinions, every last person that ain't scared because we obviously ain't them scary ass
that don't rap. Y'all don't rap.
Look, and even I'm disappointed in Cameron. I figured that Cameron would be one of those dudes that would actually hold J. Cole's feet to the fire and maybe ask some real questions. He asked a couple of them, but he was playing nice too. He playing internet, like for real. And we got to get out of this playing internet shit for real. If we gonna keep it real, we gonna keep it real.
I'm gonna go in like 5 minutes.
One thing I will agree with is that Jay-Z did say is that stan culture is out of control. The internet
just agreed with him.
but who cares? This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, who cares? Like, fans gonna do that. They've been doing that. This really started with him and Nas.
So rappers should not be
A lot
battling.
of Jay-Z fans can't get over the fact that it's people that still like Nas.
We get
I don't
one
think
battle a year. We
I don't
get
think that
one battle a year.
I don't think that this talking is unnecessary, bro. We asking for the culture to die by talking like this. What do we have left? Like I
Whose
said,
fault is that?
if we can't battle rap, if we can't talk a little shit, if we can't hurt niggas' feelings, if the fans can't give their opinions and say this is whack or this is dope or I don't like
There's a
him or
whole battle
whatever,
league for that.
if we can't say nothing but praise these dudes, like I said, this is they want to be worshipped as
Y'all
idols. They
wasn't
don't want to hear
praising.
no opinions.
Y'all
They don't
wasn't
want to. They don't
praising.
want no pushback. They don't want to hear nothing, right? And
Wasn't
I think that it's
praising.
just this ain't the time. This is not the battle to be saying
It
this.
wasn't
There's
praising.
so many different worse situations
Super.
that if we was gonna put our
Again,
foot down
super.
as a culture, we should have did this shit a long time ago, man.
Super. 100% of every business cares about the public's comments. 100%. Why should rappers not care when 100% of every company on this earth cares about
That's not
comments?
what it was about, Leroy. You
No,
know,
hold on,
Leroy,
hold on, because
oh,
y'all don't
stop it.
support battle culture,
Stop
and
it.
it's been there for 10
Stop
years.
it, bro. Stop it, bro. Because you an
Every
MC.
company cares about public
Bro,
backlash.
stop it, bro.
Every company. Why should rappers not care
Bro,
about public?
stop it, bro. You an MC.
It's
You
not
right.
stopping.
No,
I know these
let me
niggas
stop.
are businessmen. They're businessmen.
But you ain't cut like that, man. You
They're
rap.
businessmen.
You
They're
no,
not
you rap
businessmen?
for real. No, let's stop, Leroy. Let's stop this shit.
Okay,
You
all
rap
right.
for real. You rap for
Yeah.
real. You battle cats for real. Everything you talking wasn't part of the culture,
My
and it
fault.
shouldn't be a part of the culture about
No, it's my fault for not having new music
how
out.
people feel. That's not the essence of hip hop. The essence of hip hop is you get on that microphone, you get on that lunch counter, you get on that
Bro,
stage, you get on that block,
if I
and you
take
rap.
care of 100 families, though,
Nobody thinking
if
like
I
that
take
when you
care of
rapping.
100 families, though,
Nobody thinking like that, bro.
Ron, if I'm responsible for the paychecks of like 100 families, I'm not engaging in battle. I'm sorry, because these families that I take care of are way more important than
And that's fine. It's cool.
way
But that's what
more
I'm saying.
important.
I hate the way J.
Way
Cole
more important.
is trying to J. Cole is still trying to play this high and mighty humble role when he said it himself. Like, this dude is a little ass boy. Like, he a follower for real. If you really look at what he's saying that he's a little ass boy. He let the fans geek him up. I can't remember who said this, because I've been watching some videos on this, but I agree with this. J. Cole let fans that didn't even like him like that and don't even care about him. He let fans and the internet geek him up to drop 7-Minute Drill. He said it himself. He said it out his mouth.
And got no props.
Because it was whack. That's why.
It
Because it was whack.
Y'all didn't even make no
It was
rhyme.
whack.
Y'all did not make no
It wasn't a rap
raps.
record.
At
It wasn't
least
a
he
rap record. That
rapped.
record wasn't whack.
It was
Why
whack.
did y'all
It
not make
wasn't
no
whack.
It was
raps?
whack.
The
The
beat
distance didn't
switch,
connect. It was
the
soft.
conduct,
For a diss song, it was whack. The shit that he was saying didn't connect.
What does it
It
matter?
didn't hold no
That
real
doesn't
weight.
matter. It
It
matters
wasn't
if
nothing.
you
It was
fight.
a nothing burger.
It
I was
matters if
telling
you
y'all
fight.
that then. Like, he ain't saying nothing major.
There
He
are
damn near on
1,000
He
rappers.
damn near
How
was
come
giving
I
Kendrick
don't hear a
props on
new
that.
diss track every 24 hours? Since everybody cares, why do I don't hear a new diss track every 24 hours when there's
I'm not even
1,000
Leroy, I'm not
rappers?
talking about what you're
There's
talking about. I don't even
1,000
know what you really.
rappers.
I don't connect what you're saying right now
I
to what
get
I'm really
one
talking about.
battle a year. Out of 1,000 rappers, peep the ratio. Out of 1,000 rappers, I get one battle a year, and y'all care about battle rap? It doesn't ring off. I'm gonna have to go in a little bit, man, but I'm just saying that doesn't make sense to me. We had a whole battle league. Puff Daddy got behind the league. Drake got behind the league, and we did not get behind the league. So, and Drake was the main one pushing the battle league. So I'm sorry, I don't believe y'all, man. Sci-Hi called out Cole last week. We have already forgot about Sci-Hi. I already forgot about it. Y'all can't be serious about battle rap. I'm sorry. I don't
I mean,
believe
I don't
you.
think it's not. You talking about something else. Like, I don't
I
think
don't
that
believe y'all.
we don't care
You
about. We don't
only
even.
care about
I,
Cole.
no, we only care about the hypocrisy and the fakeness from Cole. Cole is fake, and everybody he getting exposed about this. This is coming out. I don't even believe his fucking wife
Yeah, he's
cried.
fake,
I think he was saying that shit just to be saying it. But why? Why even say something so lame? Like, really? My wife
I
cried
don't
over
think
this
it's.
battle, bro.
What if he's telling the truth? What if he's
I don't
telling the
believe
what?
him.
truth?
I don't even
About
believe him.
what?
What if he's telling the truth?
Why? Why?
He just said that Like That wasn't a disrespectful record. 7 Minute Drill wasn't a disrespectful record. It was What's the Tears About? What's the tears about?
Because his wife is friends with Kendrick's wife. So and women have been known to
No,
come.
we don't know that.
Women-
He ain't what he said.
But listen,
we don't know that.
But listen, was Kendrick's wife involved in the battle? Yes or no? She
He
was
ain't say
involved in
nothing
the
about her
battle.
on the
But
7 Minute Drill.
listen. Kendrick's wife was involved in the battle. Now, hold on. So now the wins. Hold on. Well, Kendrick's wife was in the battle. I don't know why
Not
we're
at that
pretending.
point. Not at that point.
Yes, no, yes, at the point.
When?
At the
When?
point.
Push ups wasn't
During
out
their
there.
whole little conference.
No, it wasn't.
No. The
It was
apology
very
came
early,
before.
bro.
No, the
Extremely early.
apology came before the Drake record
Extremely
ever
early.
came out. No. I got to correct you.
But you don't know when his wife was complaining about this. You do not know the date that she was complaining.
Don't care. You trying to figure it out? You sitting back trying to figure it out? Who cares? His wife didn't have no business crying.
I don't know why you care about
that
the
deep
whole
happened.
story.
Nothing even that deep even happened. I don't believe
It happened
J.Cole.
2 years
the whole
ago.
story.
It happened 2 years
Outrageous.
ago, and you're upset. It happened 2 years ago.
I'm not upset. It's lame. Like I said, I got secondhand embarrassment.
Y'all, it happened
I'm
2
embarrassed
years
for this
ago.
nigga.
But
I'm
you have
embarrassed for
never
him.
supported battle
I'm embarrassed for
culture,
hip hop.
ever.
I'm
Ever
embarrassed for hip
supported
hop
battle
and shit,
leagues.
for real. I'm
You have
embarrassed
never-
that we got hip hop greats
Joe,
sitting up here talking
if
this
a
soft
woman thinks
about
that
a simple
if
little punk
public
ass battle
scrutiny
that
is
wasn't
coming
even
her
that
way,
deep, bro.
if a woman thinks public scrutiny is coming her way based on seeing public scrutiny from Pusha T and his wife,
I hate you niggas, dog.
always coming.
I can't stand hip hop fans no
If
more,
a
dog.
female gets emotional, I'm not surprised by that. That seems just
I would be
normal
upset.
to me.
I mean,
That
if my
seems
wife,
normal
hey,
to
listen,
me.
hey,
But
listen,
what's
let me
not
say this.
normal is
Let me
you
say
niggas
this.
have never supported
Let me
battle
say this.
culture.
Let me say this.
For
Let me say this.
fucking
Let me
a
say this. Let me say this,
generation.
D-Roy.
You
If
niggas have
another
neglected
pod,
battle
if
culture.
another
I gotta go.
pod,
I
if
gotta
another,
go because this is my last point.
let me finish this real quick.
Y'all have never supported battle culture ever. Ever.
Let me say
Ever.
this before you
Ever.
go.
Not
Before
since
you go, let
Tupac
me
was
say this
alive.
before you go. Let me say this before you go. If another pod, just our pod, and my wife start crying, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Right.
But why is that an L for you?
What you crying for?
But why is that an L for you?
It's an L because he
That
lied.
is an L for me. That is an
But
L
if
for
I
me.
wasn't even there, if I wasn't there to see the situation,
My
why
wife
should
is
I call
crying
you a
over
liar? I
somebody
wasn't
just
even
for me.
there.
I'm crying.
Bro, I
wasn't
ain't gonna lie,
there.
man. Hey, when Cole said that his wife cried, I had to Google her and shit. I went to Google her. Like, why
I
the
don't know
fuck
why
did
we
she
even
cry? Like,
care.
I wanted to know who she was. I wanted to know why she
I don't know why
cried
we
over
care.
this shit. I wanted to know. I had to figure it out.
Here's my last comment. Here's my last comment.
He made me Google his wife by saying that goofy ass shit.
Here's my last comment before I go, right? This is only speaking for me personally. I have never cared about this issue ever. I'm gonna be honest. None of this has ever. I have never cared about the J. Cole Kendrick beef. For 2 years now, I have had to talk about a beef that I care nothing about, and that is because I follow the real battle league. And aside from that point is just that if a person says, "Oh, I don't want to fight," then I stop caring because you're literally telling me you don't want to fight. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can't care about someone who doesn't want to fight. That doesn't even make sense. So
you can't throw a punch. You can't throw a punch and take it back,
yeah,
bro.
but he doesn't want to fight.
You can't
bro.
listen, Leroy. You can't black my eye. You can't black my eye and be like, I'm done.
Well,
I'm done, man.
That's
I'm
up to
done. I'm
Kendrick.
sorry, bro.
That's up to Kendrick.
I hit you. I'm sorry though. I hit you.
That's up to Kendrick, bro. I can't tell Kendrick how to feel about that.
I can't tell Cole what to do, but I don't like. I think these excuses are lame. I think everything that he said was lame. I think that I'll holler at you later.
Yeah, understood. Oh, I'm gonna go. This shit is old, y'all. After this week, let's please move on, bro. Please.
Man, tell that to Jay-Z and Cole. Tell them to move on.
And Jay, I just don't know what he gets out of, like, if let's say he's lying about something. So what? And I don't know what he's lying about. A lot of the issues that people have with him is really not his business. Y'all are going on hearsay. I heard this about you. Somebody ever come up to you like, Ron, Super, I heard such and such was talking about you. It's like,
No,
bro,
no, no, no,
you
that's
want
not
me
what we're
to
saying.
address you
No,
want me to address
that's not what we're
another
saying,
comment
Leroy.
from another
That's not what
person?
we're saying, Leroy. We're saying ask a
You
question.
want me
Ask
to
a follow-up
address
question.
like
Nobody's saying, "I heard this."
It's legit shit out here.
I
Nobody's
heard
saying
this. I
no,
heard that.
nobody's saying
Okay?
that.
It
Nobody's
ain't no
saying
herd. It's a legitimate
you
case.
said
He got a son out here that's
there was a release of some documents. Your name was
what?
in the documents. How do you
And what?
feel about
And
your
what?
name being in these documents? That's a
So
question.
so okay, so
That's not
you
about
view
a
me
feeling.
as a pedo. Okay, that's
No,
fine.
that's not true.
That's fine.
That's not what was in the documents. The
Oh, then
documents
why are
said
you asking?
you bought people off in Brooklyn, and they paid people off in Brooklyn to pose opposition of a development. How do you
And
feel
they
about your
made
name?
money. They made money.
That you can ask a question without being
The
disrespectful.
community
I'm not
gained
casting no,
jobs and they made money.
I'm not casting no judgment on it because I
Why don't y'all
enjoyed
give back the money, Brooklyn?
I enjoy the area of the
Give
Barclays.
back the money. Since
I
Jay
enjoy
is so
Brooklyn.
Leroy,
bad.
let him cook, man.
I
Since Jay
enjoy the
is so
area.
bad, give back the money.
I'm not casting no aspersions on doing any type of business deals. I'm a businessman. I like doing business and deals.
Brooklyn, you made money.
Okay. That's
So
not the
and you're
question.
mad that you made money.
It's obvious they made money, but the question is these files have come out and people on the internet feel
Keep going
a
to the
certain type of way
files.
about his name being in the files and someone being a pillar of hip
You
hop.
know who else name is in there? I'm just
Again,
saying, you keep asking me
And they get asked about it all the time.
why are
They
people
get asked
above?
about it.
no one asked about that. No
They
one asked
actually
about
get
Why
that.
are
asked about it
people
all the time.
above
No
getting
one
asked
asked about
questions,
that.
man? Why
No,
can't people
no
be
one
asked
asked about
questions?
that.
I
No,
don't
the
understand
thing
why
about
people
it, the
can't
thing
get
about
asked
it is, if
questions.
Jay says no, I don't grade
I don't
people.
understand why
They're
people
gonna
are
say, "Oh,
above
you're
getting asked
lying."
questions. I just don't understand why certain people can't get asked questions. I just don't
No, the
understand it.
reason why is because what if he just tells you to your face?
That's
Then you're
fine.
gonna still say he's lying.
No, I, how would I know? How I,
Well, okay, what if he says, okay, when other people say things about me, that's another person talking. They don't represent me. You
He's
see what I'm
sitting there
saying?
talking about other people right now.
That's another
He did an
person.
interview talking about Drake and Kendrick. He did an interview talking about other
No, he
people.
talked about social media.
He talked about their situation
You
and how he felt.
misrepresented what he
He
said
gave
when
his
you
opinion. He
said he
gave
was
his
caping
opinion.
for Drake.
He gave his
That's not
opinion
what he did.
about their situation. That's what he
He
did. He
talked
gave
about
his,
social
instead
media.
of giving his opinion about his own situations,
But
and he
there
got
is no
plenty. He got
situation.
plenty shit to be talking about. That's bigger than a
But there is
2-year-old
no
battle.
situation.
Like
There
exactly your
is no
point. Why are we
situation.
even talking about a battle that's 2 years old
There is no
when just
situation.
about 3 months ago they just dismissed the Son case, right?
Why don't you
And old girl daughter is suing her. Tory Lane's father been calling your name and saying that y'all
yeah,
trying to
he's
set him up.
rich. He's rich now.
Right.
He's
It's
rich.
a lot. It's more for Jay to be talking about than Kendrick and Drake. It's
So
more than that.
what if Jay says, okay, cool, so set up the court date and I'll be in court? Why don't y'all do that?
Man, ain't nobody talking about what you talking about, bro. You can't.
Y'all don't want to go to
You
court?
putting words in people's mouth.
Y'all don't want to go to court? My whole thing is that the only reason people are doing it is because they want to see Jay fall. That's why. They're looking for the fall of Jay-Z.
Ain't
So and
nobody
he
looking for
knows
nothing.
that. He knows that.
We looking for
He
some.
knows that. Because
Jay
why
don't
are
never
y'all
have
cared
to
about
answer
this
any
man's
questions.
30?
He's the
Y'all
only guy that can
asking
do.
about a
He the
grown
only
man.
guy that
Hey,
can
this
backstab.
is your son.
Do
Okay, what
anything.
if it is? What
You know
if it is my son? What if it is my son? Does it really matter? What if it is? Does it matter?
I'm not finna try to talk
He's
over
a
you the whole
grown.
time.
He's a
We're
grown
not
man.
finna do this. Like I'll let
He's
you
a
just do your
grown man.
thing.
Nicki Minaj is upset at me. Does it matter? Does it matter? I just want to know if it matters.
Right.
It
And
don't.
I don't care about his
Tory
opinion
Lane's
about the
dad
beef.
is mad at me.
I don't
Okay.
care about his opinion about this beef. I don't
All
want to
right.
hear about him thinking
All right.
that battle culture has no
All right.
place.
But the
I don't
fact
care
that y'all
about
are
his opinion
talking
about
about this
this.
from 2 years ago
It's
proves
a
that y'all
whole
are
lot that we should be
obsessed.
hearing from
You're
Jay-Z.
obsessed
It's
with
more
rapping.
to be talking about.
You're
It's more to
obsessed
be
with J.
talking about.
Cole. You're
He got
obsessed.
bigger fish to fry than
And you're obsessed with
J. Cole
Jay-Z.
and Kendrick.
Jay-Z gave y'all one interview in the last 5 years, and you're obsessed. It's like, come on, bro.
Obsessed.
Man, I'm gonna get out.
You obsessed, man.
No,
We
I mean, I
gonna
think
come back
he's
to this.
regular. I think
Hey, you got your fan moment, man. I know you was
no,
getting.
I
You
think
probably
he's
had
just very
popcorn
regular.
and
He's just very
you probably
regular.
had a interview watching party for Jay-Z.
No,
I
he's
know
just
you probably you had on
no,
the whole gear. You put your
no,
vinyls on the wall and everything, man.
no. You can stop.
I know you did.
All his interviews are very regular. For his whole career and his whole life, he always been that same
I
person.
can't wait to see this episode. I'm sure he was
Hold on,
glazing,
hold
wasn't he?
on.
Was he
I've
glazing
seen.
before I got on?
No, he wasn't.
Hold on.
He started when you got him.
Hold on, I've seen all of Jay's interviews. He's always very regular. He's never been extra his whole
Leroy,
life.
I just don't
He's
understand
never been extra his
before you
whole
go, I
life.
just don't understand why you can't ask why you think he's out he's out
Because
of
the
bounds. You
reason
can't ask
why
him
y'all
no
can't
questions.
is because y'all haven't put enough work in this game to even be talking with your chest.
Like I said this,
How's
man.
that talking with a how's asking the question
Hey, like I
talking with
said, Jay has never really answered too many questions about Dame. Jay is the only guy that can have a bunch of controversy out there, and he don't never have to answer no questions. He never got to answer a question. He never got to confront nothing. People scared to ask him about shit that's right there on the front page of the news. You know what I mean? They've been getting called out for this. Everybody been calling out the Joe Budden podcast for never saying anything negative. Never Jay-Z stories never get highlighted, but he gonna come out here and give his assessment of the culture and all this. He gonna come out and chastise the fans about being mean to Drake. J.Cole coming out chastising the fans, talking about it just got disgusting. It got disgusting, and the fans they wanted to see blood. And shut the fuck up! Like I'm so tired of these dudes being like, why is it this need to force something that's this is ours, man. I really feel like it's an attack on black culture, black manhood. Hip hop has always been a black masculine genre. They trying to neuter us. They trying to force us into thinking the way that they want us to think. And if you keep just follow and look at this pattern, every time we come out, you can't give an opinion about nobody's music without being a hater. You can't give an opinion about nothing that they said without being a hater. You can't you can't like nothing without being a hater. It's like it just don't the way that we thinking about hip hop, man, it's like we not getting enough music for even to be this type of fan base for real. We're not getting enough music. Ain't enough dope shit out. It ain't been enough classics. Nothing like for real for like the last 10,
the ga
15 years.
the game is getting
Like
the game is getting soft across the board, man. These
right,
interviews, these was fluff pieces. I get it. 'Cause that's been happening since the beginning of time, right? You got celebrities that go to these late night shows or these daytime shows, or they sit with Ellen in them interviews. It's like an Ellen interview. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing.
right.
You ain't gonna get nothing out of it. You know what I'm saying? The Apple Music interview, I thought this homegirl was a journalist. She act like she was just
A
happy to
fan.
a fan, like she wanted to, one of J. Cole's side chicks or something. I don't know. It was just weird. The Cameron interview, artists is always gonna interview artists in a different way. He tried to get some questions off, but again, it's just the game even has gotten soft, man. I think, like I told Leroy before you joined, the interviews would have been better if you had somebody like Big Boy, Sway, you know what I'm saying? Even a
Right,
Charlemagne asking questions that people that's talking about. I didn't learn nothing from these interviews, man.
right.
I didn't step away from the interview saying, man, oh man, damn, that was deep, or I didn't know that, or that was something I didn't know before. It was just pretty much a propaganda piece. It was a PR rollout. You know what I'm saying? It was just PR. You know what I'm saying? That that does the culture a disservice when you really ain't learning nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just noise at that moment. Go ahead.
And what also gives us a disservice too is trying to call everybody a stand. I came into this battle open-minded. I didn't care. I didn't have a major I didn't care if J. Cole would have stayed in the battle, if he would have beat Kendrick, if he would have beat Drake, or if Drake would have beat Kendrick. I didn't care. I didn't care. I'm not a stand in either one of them. It was just my opinion. When the songs came out, I gave my opinions. I like this song over that song. I'm not a Drake fan. I don't really like Drake anyway. So you know what I mean? But I wasn't rooting against him. I'm not listening to these songs with a stand mindset. Kendrick won the battle. It don't got nothing to do with stand culture, nothing like that. It's just we bro, like
It's just the game has gone in a different
it's
direction.
sick. Like, we killing our own culture. We killing our own culture. We keep letting small pieces of the culture just fall off by the wayside. We keep on adjusting.
It's getting corny, man. It's
It's
getting
getting
corny.
too corny.
It's getting
Right.
corny, man. It's getting corny, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't
We
nobody.
gossiping about wives. We doing all of this shit. We getting more music. We getting more gossip than music. We know more about who these dudes are sleeping with than their album cover names and their names of they discography. We know more about who they done slept with.
Right, and then, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, I like J. Cole. I think J. Cole's a dope MC, but it's just so I guess he's always been like, but it's like, I'm out of my, I couldn't vibe with the music, I had to restart. It's just, man, just make I don't understand that, man. Back when I hate to be so old. Niggas just rap, man, just rap, put out
Right.
music, you know what I'm saying, all this, I had to go back and get in my
Right.
find
He
my
had to go to therapy and he had to deal with his mental health issues. And
right, it's just
him and his wife had to cry. And like, what the fuck are we doing, man?
this is this is crazy to me. Maybe I'm out of touch, man. Maybe I'm old and maybe it's me. You know what I'm saying?
Just imagine back when Ice Cube dropped No Vaseline and he did an interview. And then he was like, yeah, my wife cried. I broke up with the group and me and my wife cried. We sat there and I went through a lot of mental health and I was in a dark place. I didn't want to write. I didn't want to rap. And I had to apologize to Kendrick. He just didn't sit right with me. It just was eating me alive. And I
Right.
was walking around. This dude basically said that he was walking around the house with an attitude and his wife was concerned about his mental health. Like he was ready to go jump or some shit.
Over 7-minute drill.
Over a song, Kendrick didn't even say a word to this dude. Just over the worry. And listen, what it is, we was all right. He was hiding. It's obvious. He looking at the internet. He's seeing the reviews. He heard the fan reaction, and then he apologized. If you peep gang, listen to what he's saying. He's saying a lot of words, but the short form of what he's saying is, I heard the reaction after I dropped 7-minute drill. The internet wasn't feeling it. You go through, I'm seeing everybody kicking my back end, talking about this and that, disrespecting me, talking about this nigga whack and saying stuff about me that they always felt about me. He paying attention to the internet. He looking, he know, and he's seeing it.
And then
And when
half of this, man, I don't even know if it's true, man. I don't believe this shit, man. I don't believe his wife cried. I don't believe it. I don't believe that happened. I don't think that's a true story. I think I don't think it's a true
I,
story.
I, I believe that he was mentally affected by it, and he went into hiding. He didn't want to come out and talk about nothing. He was trying to figure out a way to jump in front of this, or the best approach to this. When the best approach to this would have been do these interviews. He could have did both of these
That's
interviews. Like I said before, bro, do both of these interviews. Don't say your wife cried. Don't say your wife cried ever. But do these interviews, then drop your album, then do your press run with passing out your albums out to Trump and doing all that. After he should have jumped out and like Cam said, let's just get the elephant out the room. He should have did this. He should have did this before he dropped the
Look,
album.
is this WWE is a game this whack and this soft? Because this I just this all this is not that big of a deal to be going. It's just rap. It's not that big of a deal to be going through all this. I'm looking at the internet. I'm in hiding and I'm feeling bad. And I got to get my mind together. My wife. It wasn't that nothing was even that serious for it even to be like this. So this got to be the joke. This got to be fake, or this got to be WWE. This
I
can't be
think it's
this can't be real, B. This
I
can't.
got my conspiracy hat on. It's a psyop. I
Yes.
think it's a
Okay.
psyop to guilt trip people into accepting Drake again, making you forget that he sued over a diss song. Now saying that battling don't have no part in the culture because it's got too mean. This is a psyop, man. It's like I said, I don't think it's a coincidence that you got Michael Eric Dyson last week or 2 weeks ago coming out saying it's shooting Drake some bail. Then you get J. Cole drop 2 interviews shooting Drake some bail. Then you get Jay-Z come out with another interview shooting Drake some bail and then saying, let's get rid of the battle culture because basically saying that the fans can't handle it because the fans got to choose sides and the fans pick a side of who they like more and they're going to give their opinions on the internet and they're going to say what they really feel. And like, what are we doing, man? I don't understand the talking point. I don't understand hip hop being this soft. I don't recognize you niggas right now. I don't want to be even associated with half you dudes. J. Cole fans, Drake fans, I'm done with y'all, man. Y'all, hey, I'm done with y'all, man. I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all, man. I'm done with y'all. Like y'all, we ain't the same. We ain't the same, man. We two different type of guys.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But yo, we had a dope show. We're gonna get out of here. Before we go, I got a couple things to say. Got the Brady shirt on, got the goat hat on. There's words suit that what you call him might be trying to come back at 49 years old, man. He might be trying to suit it up one more
You
time.
believe that because he played flag football, man?
He just said today he called the NFL talking about a potential comeback. You know what I mean? You know, what you think about Brady coming back one more time at 40,
I
at
mean,
40, at 49 years old?
I'm always gonna root for a guy like Brady or any OG that come back and make a comeback. I'm always gonna root for him. So, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? Is he gonna sell his ownership in the team and all that?
We don't
I
know
know they
yet.
was
He says they in discussions trying to figure it out, man. So we
it
gonna
ain't worth it just to come back and play for 1 year though.
Raiders, man. You know, I don't know. I don't know, man. But
Ain't
anyway,
nowhere he can go. Tom Brady ain't built like that, man. He a decent guy, a decent quarterback, but his arm strength ain't the same. What are you gonna
that flag football got him geeked. That flag football is kind of lame. I watched a
right.
little bit of it. I ain't really like
I
that.
heard they lost too.
They lost, man. It wasn't that dope, man. It wasn't that dope, man. J.Cole got another interview with Carmelo. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna pop. We're gonna see if there's anything. I went maybe Carmelo will ask him some different questions. He gonna be in Brooklyn. Maybe the Brooklyn Cats.
Let me ask you this, Ron. You remember when I said that he should have just did these interviews ahead of time? Do you agree by now?
I agree. Because this would have been over with. This would have been done months ago, man. We wouldn't even be having all this. We focused on the music right now, the rollout. You was right. So I will say this: Super was right. I disagreed. Probably run the tape back. I probably disagreed. He should have did an interview damn near 2 years
And I think
ago.
that this is all working backwards against him now too. Like I don't think that these interviews is helping his streams or making you care about the music more or want to go listen to the music more.
And it's not
It would
helping Drake. This ain't helping. This ain't helping Drake.
no, it's not. It makes me even like I said, man. This makes me even more mad at Drake about what he did about suing over the diss song. Because now look what we got. Listen to this talk that we having. We got somebody that's potentially the goat of this shit talking and who left condoms in the baby seat, made songs. Is that your chick? Then sending
I was just thinking,
subliminal disses. The subliminal diss master.
right.
Embarrassed Prodigy with a picture of an 8-year-old
In
kid
a leotard.
yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like this is the guy. Jay-Z just having an old man moment and he was speaking as a music executive and he's looking at the bottom line like, hey man, this shit, Kendrick went out here, he killed Drake right now. So like that Drake momentum, we can't our cash cow is hurting right now. And it's no wonder that, yeah, of course you want to talk about collabs. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you want to. And I agree. I think that more artists, and that's what I agree with Jay-Z on some points, the stand culture point, and artists should be more willing to get on tracks and just out rap each other. Who got the best verse on here? We ain't gotta
Yeah,
send disses to each other.
They probably setting this up. It's gonna be a Drake, J. Cole, and Jay-Z record about to drop. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just something they
They
gonna make
definitely
a
trying
record.
to get the public ready for this makeup that's going on. That this and it ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't, you never want to see brothers going to the grave with beef or having hard feelings. So I'm not rooting against it, but just let it happen first before we get to trying to tell people how we should feel and trying to tell people that we wrong. We did Drake wrong. They trying to tell us that we did Drake wrong.
Right.
Like they trying to guilt trip us because Drake lost and because
Because people
Kendrick
got
Lamar.
opinions about records they did, or moves that
Right,
they made.
right. This dude called for this beef, begged Kendrick to come out, had Tupac him and Snoop on tracks, begging Kendrick to diss him. And when he gets dissed, and whatever he says now is too far, because it's Drake. It's only because it's Drake. Nobody give a damn about Tuka. Nobody give a damn about the niggas who been going and getting their grave sites peed on. Nobody outraged about that. Chris Brown and what's his name just dropped battle songs over baby mamas, basically, and
Hey,
over
look,
who they was having sex with. Ray J dropped "I Hit It First." Eminem been dissing women and Britney Spears and and pop stars for a long time, but now Drake took a hit, and
I think
now
they
it's
messed up.
it's
I
a
think
little
they
too
messed up.
much.
I think what happened was they overplayed their hand. You know, they thought they tried to, they were thinking they get Drake up out of here was gonna be good, but now they looking at the bottom line like, man, we really need Drake to come. We done damaged the cash cow. You know what I'm saying?
I really thought that I think it just backfired on them. I
Right,
think that they thought that they was going to be able to milk this a little bit harder than what they was, but the songs that Drake was dropping just wasn't hitting. You
right,
know what I mean? Like they thought Drake had more love and support than he really did, and I think Drake did too. He thought that we really loved him. No, we just been dealing with you. We've been
right,
dealing with you. The
right,
girls love you.
right.
like us, it's been a lot of real hip hop heads that couldn't wait to see you
And now
get
they
your
looking
hip
at the
clipped off.
bottom line now, it's like, "Man, we shouldn't have did them like that. We shoulda"
Right, right,
because
right,
ain't nobody really out here that can generate like you generate, you know what I'm
right.
saying? Kendrick
And
really
so
don't make
now they saying now the music industry need Drake. He was the #1 collabor.
right.
Like, now they have to do some making up for Drake right now and tell you as a fan that you wrong for laughing at
Because
Drake.
they need that Drake and Future thing to pop, you know what I'm saying? They need Little Baby to Drake to pop, you know what I'm saying? They need
Hey, you disgusting for singing A minor. You disgusting.
right,
You disgusting. Not Kendrick. Kendrick ain't disgusting for making it.
right.
You as the fan are
For
disgusting
tweeting it, for
for
talking about it
tweeting
on a
about it.
on a
Right, right.
podcast.
Laughing about it, going to the concert, singing it, um,
We wrong
um,
for talking about it on a pod.
hyping it up over the internet. Right, right. You wrong. The internet is wrong. We wrong for giving our opinions and doing podcast shows and talk about our opinions on the songs and who's winning and who's not. You know what I mean? Like we wrong. We wrong for giving our opinions as the fans. This same shit was going on when Nas and Jay was going on. We just didn't have the internet like that, but people were still picking their sides. People were still doing what they was doing, and stan culture was really created from that beef more so than any other beef. I don't think that Biggie and Pocket Big, but like I said, I consider that beef. I don't consider that a battle. I consider Jay and Nas a battle because they got songs, they battled it out song for song. I don't really look at what Big and Pac did as a real battle. That was beef.
That was beef. That was
So,
beef. It was different. It was
right.
it was
This was nothing, man. This was like
this was
this was nothing.
this is like some Mean Girls type shit, man. This
Right.
wasn't nothing, man. This wasn't nothing. But on
Right.
that note, man, we're gonna get up out of here. We always appreciate you. That's super duper. Leroy Green. Do the needful. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. You gotta hit like and subscribe. We gotta get to that spot we gotta get to. Hit like and subscribe. Buy us a cup of coffee. Send us a super thanks, super chat. We're gonna check in with you tomorrow. We'll be easy. Peace.
Hey, let me just say this one more before we go out, too. Just let me get this last one off. Hip hop, get out your feelings, man. That's it.
That's it. Hey, we're gonna leave it with super duper. Peace.